Hello, everybody. Welcome to Blood Bowl. I'm Complacent Badger.
And here with Master Moose filling in for Sierra Kilo for this one.
Yeah, most likely all the videos this week, but we'll see how that goes. So
Yeah,
we're
Ducky Shoes is wanting to get in on at least one of these.
yeah, so likely. So we're watching Sunday Speedwalkers versus the Coarse Heirs.
And as with Sierra Kilo's brought it up a couple times, he gets to kind of defend his actions during his own games. So having this advantage here, it's looking forward to it. But something for everyone to watch for. There was a very abrupt change in luck, and the dice were very aggressive, and that targeting changed players. So watch for that point. It's very specific.
Okay. I have been playing a lot of Blood Bowl too, so this is weird.
It's like a blast to the past, right?
Yeah. Alright, so doing all the setups and whatnot, same old, same old. So, what is this, your fifth time going against this team in the last 2 seasons?
With this particular team, it should be the fifth one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, so decent kick starting out with that, putting the leap catcher down. I think it's the only catcher she has in her team anyways, right?
Yes.
Alright. And then the infiltration begins.
Yeah, and with this one, I always kind of harp this having an objective for your turn and making sure to use those one-time actions accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I was getting that blitz to open that lane, which, I mean, I'm prone to doing that a lot, but as you see, that 2+ throw just not happening for me.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I think it was actually the catch that failed.
Yeah, but you had it covered, so it's not the worst situation, but against a Wood Elf team, that's not a fun time. That's, one of the teams in the league that can actually just grab that ball.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, so... Oh no. Oh. One die and opts not to use the reroll, which is a good idea.
End of the turn, yeah.
So it's good reroll management on the part of Ducky Shoes. Probably would have. Let me look at this guy. Yeah, without anything on him, I probably wouldn't, especially with the opponent having block, I wouldn't, and dodge, I wouldn't have gone for the one die, but at least she didn't burn a reroll at the same time.
It did open him up for free movement, not that she would have been able to hold him anyway.
Yeah. Oh, smash collarbone. Was that the... No, that was corner. Oh, no.
That was the catcher.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so he's a strength 1 catcher now. Again, she opted not to apothecary that one in favor of her more important players.
That's unfortunate. That's basically a useless catcher now. Well, I shouldn't say that. Strength 2 and Strength 1, I mean, I guess it's not that huge of a difference, just always getting 3 dies on you versus 2.
Yeah.
Heyo. Always fun to get one out.
Yeah, I was watching that one, but the risk of getting him out, I wanted to get ball in hand, and then as soon as that pickup failed, I knew he was going out.
Yeah.
But I was just anticipating not getting injured and getting him back.
Yeah.
That was my goal on that one.
Got KO, so he should be back. Oh.
Yeah, and that was a that was a little sad that he did get the KO. Went against me on that one.
So opting to use your reroll to bring Roberts back next drive. That's interesting.
He's just so key to my defense and offense. You've seen me do that a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And then there she goes, just punishing me.
Yeah, wow. So she actually forms up a robust cage right at the last second there. This is the only way that pass to a standing war dancer actually works, if you can kind of build a cage around her afterwards, and she did it very successfully, but you've got that movement allowance to circumvent, so let's see if it works.
but it still causes a lot of pressure, and it makes it so that I can't design my assault.
Exactly. You have to play into her game, and it's not very efficient. And you can't just retaliate right after. And even if you get the ball loose, it's likely going to go into tackle zones and make it even more difficult.
Yep. Yeah, she played a great game against me,
Woo.
and I was having a blast. Yeah, again, that move, you said I had the movement allowance, but I still had to risk it. I was so far back.
Yeah, I mean, nothing was a crazy roll. I mean, 2+ was like the worst thing. And touchdown, because word answers give no fucks.
Yeah.
Well, that was an awesome drive for Ducky Shoes. Couple really bad time with the failed pass and the failed pickup, but she was able to capitalize on it, which is sometimes harder than just playing a good game, is being able to capitalize on the misfortune and mistakes of your opponent.
And she was very aware of both of my pass block characters. Not only do I have Francis Drake, who's a pass block with a 2+ dodge through tackle zones, who, I mean, he goes where he wants. I've got another catcher that's block dodge and pass block. And she's just constantly aware of both of them and making sure that there was nothing I could interfere with.
That's really good. It's light years since last game.
And those bad rolls that just weren't going my way, I started getting frustrated. And when it comes down to both of us being in the same room, I feel bad with how angry I get. But at the same time, it's one of those like, okay, let's just keep playing. We got this.
Yeah. Alright, so had to use another reroll on a pickup. So getting all those ones out of your system hopefully early. And then we got the dump king in position. Throw it back to that brand new blitzer in case something goes down.
And that was the failed catch in the first drive, was a throw to that blitzer.
Yep.
I was very focused on getting him experience because of
Nice.
how other games had gone.
That was excellent placement by Ducky Shoes and getting that lucky intercept after getting great placement.
Yeah, that 6 only intercept. You can't get it unless you place it.
Yep.
Great, just seeing the play, getting him there. The chances of it were slim, but you get slim when you
Yep.
make the opportunity.
Yeah, but at the same time, she was mitigating your ability to catch it. So, I mean, it was a win-win
Yep.
situation. It just happened that she pulled jackpot.
Exactly. And that move to one of my Nerves of Steel catchers is much more effective. When you see it set up against someone who doesn't have Nerves of Steel, you can just pile on tackle zones to my receiver and just watch that ball go crazy.
Yep. And of course, you're able to kind of scalpel in there, get rid of that player. But again, with her placement of players, the ball's in a very inopportune spot.
Now, I've been getting lucky with some penetrations. Granted, she's gotten a couple on me, but I apothecaried the hurt.
Alright, so he's out of the game for this drive. It's unfortunate. It was the one time he was actually free. Alright, so covering the receiver.
At this point, it's just a dog pile.
Ooh. So failed leap, 2-1. It happens. Looks like not enough players. Oh, that stun's not going to help. That's Roberts throwing out that stun. So ball is ready to be grabbed. Yeah, it's a lot of blue on that ball. You gotta go for it.
That failed leap really just helped everything out.
Yeah, it really got a powerful character out of the way.
Now this one, I'm setting it up for the failed go for it, because I've got a 5 out of 8 chance of it landing on the field.
Oh, God damn it.
And of course the 3 out of 8 after rolling the 1.
Yeah, that's a lot of very specific ones in very specific places.
And I am just livid at this point. I'm just so angry.
Oh my
And
God.
again, she
Oh,
punishes having those deep players
yeah.
with an instant, again, go for it. She had to rub it in, but a go for it touchdown.
Ah,
And just 2-0, boom, like that. I'm out of rerolls, and she still has them, just punishing me for my overconfidence of being able to
make a
just
2+.
get players. Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
Citrus, I wouldn't do things like that normally. I had enough time to get the touchdown. She wasn't going to mess with me.
Yeah.
But if I got that go for it, I had enough time to press in for a second.
Yeah.
And that, basically, I was punished for my hubris at that point.
Yeah. No, it happens sometimes. You see an opening and you're like, man, 86% chance. Let's see if I can get that. That gives me a chance to get another one. That's some comfort room. And then, oh my goodness. All right. So, yeah, you would have looked like an all-star had that happen, and then you got the touchdown before. And this,
Yeah, right?
yeah, you would have been the king. But oh my God, is your fame that much higher, or did she just roll terrible?
I actually didn't look. I should have a 1. I'm not sure if I have a 2. That's not really something that we can check.
Yeah, she just
But
had
I
to
think
have
that's
rolled
just a 1.
terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, wow. But of course, to kind of rub it in a little bit, her whole team, but the one guy that you have, I shouldn't say one, but the key one was the one who was to get the
Right?
ball. So really nothing you can do to capitalize on that huge, massive, bad roll there.
Yeah, and she was laughing at that. This whole situation, she was laughing. I'm really not sure how much in the past I'm talking. Has it been that much of an issue? Because it appears a little laggy.
No, it's not that bad.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the only way that we have the ability to do this is through Skype share screen or timing the replays appropriately, which we found that Skype tends to lag less than just trying to find the good timing.
Yeah. And again, there's that failed catch.
Ugh, on a 1. I guess that's the only result that can fail. Yeah, because it was against Henry Morgan.
Doesn't matter. Agility 4. I mean,
Yeah, I guess you're right. If it was an accurate pass, it's 2+ to everybody. So that's the first half, man. That's roof.
and I mean, I was sulking a bit, but at the same time, I was just looking at this game going, she is playing so well.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing great. That second touchdown she got, her receiver wasn't in prime position. She could have easily mitigated the 2 go-for-its that she had to do, but it worked out.
Yep.
But yeah, just again, she's able to see the situation when it arises and go, all right, here's my chance, and then it happens to work out. And no rolls are astronomical. I don't think anything she's done so far this game has been worse than a 50%, and I don't even think it's that low.
Starting right here, I have a 2-player advantage on her, and she has made it very known that this particular defensive formation is
Troublesome.
it's her bane. She does not know what to do.
It's a tough one. I've seen this formation work. Maybe not necessarily against her specifically, but I've seen it work against other elf teams. It's a tough one to break through. A really well-placed blitz can open it up, but depending with your guys that you have on the ends over here, it makes it a lot more difficult with sidestep and block, and then you have blodge. But those are the areas that you do it, but it only really allows one war dancer to get through easily.
Yep. And the middle's the weak point.
Yep.
I think it's a strength 2 guy front and center on that tree, just feeding him those hits because I need him to not be moving around.
Yeah.
And then all that leaves is like my thrower and a basic lineman and stuff in the back, just as a wall to be leapt over.
Yeah.
No special skills there, but it still funnels her to the middle, which I find it's easier to hold on to an elf team in the middle, which sounds weird, but it's where I want her, because I can force her to one side, which is my strong side.
Well, and it's because you have a large movement allowance, so forcing to the middle is easier. For teams with low movement allowance, you definitely want to hold them on the sideline.
Yeah. That makes sense, because if she's in the middle, my whole team can get to her.
Yes, whereas in
I
for
hadn't quite realized why that comfort was there.
yeah,
I appreciate that.
no problem. Yeah, no, been playing like dwarves and orcs a lot lately, so the mechanics of movement allowance have been on my mind heavily.
Now, this one, there's no rewind, but I had a strong zone the whole way with the one guy that she put down. I knew he was my weak point, and I was banking on her not seeing that. I had my pass block in the very top right side, and she
Oh.
ran left to get away from him.
Mhm.
I had another pass block that she used a handoff in order to avoid that. The pass block was touching the War Dancer.
Yeah.
Just great sight on where my pass block is and not giving me that option. And then, of course, I get lucky with a one catch. The only reason she did not get that touchdown was she rolled a 1.
Yeah, and that's a payback to the ones that you've had last half, so that's I bet that was a sigh of relief for you.
It definitely was. And this is the breaking point in die, basically. My luck from the first half is now hers.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I can do no wrong at this point.
Go for it. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Exactly.
Should be GFYs, go fuck yourself.
And then the sulking, like I'm still angered that I'm losing, but I'm not saying a word,
Mhm.
because at this point I realized that the
Whoa.
dice are against her, and she was a little irritated that I was still angry, and I told her afterwards. I was like, no, it was the dice, 100%. The dice shifted. I stopped saying anything because I recognized that.
Yeah, it's always tough to have your dice just really turn up bad, but when your opponent has it, it's a very awkward situation because it's like you want to be happy for yourself, but you know how it is being in that position.
Yeah.
You're like handoffs, no dodge, but you're probably getting that blitz or some star player points.
Exactly.
All right, so 2-1 with what 4 turns remaining. That's still a game.
Yep. And her rerolls versus mine is critical.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough for her to keep her head above water. And she still got that 2-player deficit.
Yep.
Despite her getting an injury that turn. You have some extra players, is that correct?
I have 1 extra.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because you brought Roberts back.
Yep. And I've gotten all my knockouts back.
Mm-hmm.
Now that one, I did a perfect defense and pulled the guy off the tree. As soon as I hit accept, I was like, what was I thinking? Because that tree is in a great spot now, and I was just so frustrated with myself. Just stupid.
Oh. Snake
Snake
eyes.
eyes.
Man.
Yeah.
To a stun. I always hate that because, like, especially for elven teams, Skaven teams, and sometimes even human teams, if I can get a decent catcher built, I'm all about that, sometimes running up and doing 3 dodges in a row along the sideline.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I don't care, as long as he gets on the other side, if he, makes it through. And then it's like, makes it all the way, the last one, drops, and then stuns or KOs himself. I'm like, ugh.
Yep.
Are you kidding me right now? It's like,
Because who cares if he's down as long as he's back there? His movement allowance lets him still do things.
yeah, you can really get him set up, because he's not an eligible receiver for a 1-turn touchdown the first turn that he gets back there usually anyways.
Yeah.
With the exception of like human catchers and things like that.
Now, because she's stunned, both of my pass blockers rush forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got Drake on the top right, and then my Blodge pass block on the top left. Nope, other way around.
Yep. Yeah. That's tough. That's a lot of pressure on that receiver, and she's not. She's still very much against running a strong pocket back there.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. With a receiver like that, I like to run 2 blitzers as or rather with a passer like that, I like to run 2 blitzers on the human team as kind of fullbacks to protect. And they make for decent runners in case you get an opening and need some extra ground to do a short toss to a catcher.
Yeah, it's always nice to have kind of that close range out.
Mm-hmm.
She does a great job of making that zone, and then for some reason she moves that thrower 1 space.
Yeah, and makes it to where it's easy to get that 1 die instead of just leaving it back there for an extra dodge into a tackle zone.
And Francis Drake says, "I don't know what you're talking about, 1 die." His dodginess is just unreal.
Yeah.
And looking at this, I see there's 1 square with a 1 tackle zone dodge into to give the assist.
Oh. So he gives the assist and then somebody else runs in, Edward Teach, to get it. Nice. It's so unfortunate that 1 space made the difference in that. It might have been a lot, like, odds are you probably would have got it, but it would have been a lot more difficult for you.
Exactly. And in addition to her just not seeing the effect of that square, my team, those are times where you need to pause and just look at the setup. Where can I get the assist? Is it possible for me to get somebody there? And then if not, what am I doing to limit this?
Yeah.
And looking at that,
Ugh.
there was definitely a 1 square to get the assist with that high dodge character,
Mm-hmm.
and in the other one there was no dodges. It was just straight in for the blitz.
Yeah, and because you have those characters that are, with their dodging capability, are basically teleporting into position. The difficulty of the dodge doesn't really matter that much. As long as it's an open spot, that's an assist. And of course, on the 1 turn that she needs, with no rerolls, she needs to be able to get her win back up. It starts raining.
Exactly.
The tree's probably feeling good, though, as he takes root to absorb some of that water.
Oh, you guys still playing? Hold on, I'm thirsty.
Yeah, he had a tough time murdering these elves. Just picking them up and smashing them together. I got this.
Now, I'm in a little bit of a critical phase right now, because she's very capable of just getting that ball downfield. Rain or not, the pass is unaffected.
Mm-hmm.
So with that one, I'm able to get Bartholomew on her. There's very little she can do against that.
Yeah.
Just using that blitz to open it up and then continue running. Getting a little bit of a zone between her and her receiver, so she has to run right. Kind of forcing that pass to a handoff.
She needs to build some wrestle fullbacks.
Yeah.
That way
that would be bad. I never thought of that one.
Yeah, because that way you can really have a decent chance at tearing up these guys invading in the backfield like that. Nice.
And she immediately breaks away.
Shakes it, but then a more, Gosdor failing that pass. Oh no, sorry, that was Gosdor failing the movement break, so it actually succeeds, and then it was Chesney failing the catch. That's what it was. It's unfortunate. So that puts you in prime position.
Yes.
Alright. And it's one of those things that I try to tell people, especially, people that I play a lot of pickup games with. It's just, don't forget your free moves. Don't forget, in a situation like this where you can capitalize real fast, people tend to be like, alright, time to do the rolls first. Like, the most important stuff is like, hold on, get set up, just in case it does work, what are you going to do next?
Yeah. And I got a little bit of a lucky bounce on that one, but it was still sad that I failed it. I was just, so frustrated. Just, come on, 2+ pickup, can't get it. But with how the dice had been, I shrugged it off as, okay, that's a little fair.
Ooh.
And then the most epic bounce out.
That's always a heart pounder for me. Oh! Here it goes. Is she going to try the pass? Oh, that's a lot of pass block. Do you think this was the intended receiver and then she was going to hand it off to this lineman?
Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly what she was doing.
That's a good
Because
plan.
again, she just had so much awareness on my pass block,
Yeah.
not giving me any opportunities. Even though it was a fumbled pass, I would have been able to use my pass block,
Mm-hmm.
and before she failed, it would roll an intercept. It
Yeah.
didn't do that because I didn't have that opportunity. She was doing the short pass.
Yep. Alright, so you still got a really good chance at winning this. You still even got a reroll left.
Yep.
Don't even have to worry about your players getting hurt, because she's done.
If she hadn't have fumbled that pass, this probably wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah.
And if she had made the pass, it might have been her touchdown.
Yep, which then you don't have the actual capability without some weird kickoff event to get a one-turn touchdown.
Now, this one I pulled the
Whoa.
Shadow Dancer, or the War Dancer away,
Yeah.
so that she'd be out of the way, looped all the way back around, gave it to him, and sprinted in.
She's got shadowing everywhere.
It was the most unreal situation, and at that precise moment, she lost it. She
Oh
was
my
so
God.
angry.
But I mean, all your players outpace her. All her
Yeah.
like you have odds to beat all those shadowing players.
And that's something I was telling her, that even if she chases me the whole time, it's a 2+, 2+, 2+, 2+,
Yeah.
2+. I have dodge, 2+, 2+. She chose to follow me with that War Dancer, and I banked on
Her-
failing that roll and pulling her away. Because if that War Dancer had stayed there, there was a triangle. I think it was 2 in the back, or 2 in the front, 1 in the back. The ones in the front were in diagonals. The one in the back was directly behind me. There was no way for me to get out of that.
Roberts picked up MVP.
So using her shadowing against her, I pulled that player out of a crucial spot and opened up that lane for me.
Yeah, and we've talked about it on the forums, saying that shadowing's a double-edged sword. Like a lot of other tricky abilities, is that you gotta make sure where people are peeling your players off of, and if they're peeling off the ball, that's a bad move. Because yeah, you may force that turnover, man, but your best place is just hang out in that ball. That's the one way to stop people, and especially against your team, because despite all the capabilities you have, it seems your biggest weakness is pickups. You
Right?
You don't have sure hands. You don't have big hand. You obviously can't get big hand, but you don't really have anything that helps with the pickup. So that was probably her best place to be.
And this is something that's abnormal. That 60% ball possession for the Speedwalkers.
Yeah.
Just showing her dominance that whole game. And that second half, just luck. Just
Yeah.
overflowing into my rolls. And just getting those real quick touchdowns to pull out the win. 20/20 match rating. I mean, it was a great game. I had a blast.
That was distilled elf right there. That game was everything elf. There was almost no bash to be seen throughout the entire game. I think maybe both of you combined had like 30 successful blocks.
Let's see, it doesn't actually show the blocks, but it's got the
No.
tackles down there.
Yeah, it's
The numbers there are low.
yeah. It's just one of those things. But that was a really good game. I think both of you played extraordinarily well. The score really represents how close that game was too.
Yes.
All right, so we will see you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching.
Adios.